What is up, YouTube? It's T-Mice here, bringing you guys a MLB 19 Conquest tip. So you guys notice I haven't completed the whole United States of America yet. I don't know what this actual Conquest is, but you notice I have taken over a majority of it. So I'm probably about 60%. I want to share a couple different tips that I've learned over the course of this long Conquest. First and foremost, your first base or your first starting position is going to be right here. Well, at least for me it was right here. I don't know if it changes it up every time, but this little area right there is where you're going to be beginning. Now, you do not have very many people to start off. Now, if you guys have played Risk, the board game, you already have an advantage over Conquest. So, how did I get to this point? So, you notice on the far right side, I've got 96 million fans, we'll call them. And then on the far left side, you've got 72 million. Now, I kind of just divided and conquered. So, I've split and made two ginormous armies, and I've just spread throughout the whole United States. Once I get to that point, once I have a ton of fans all over, I'm pretty much building a wall. You notice every single place, I think almost every place, there's a couple places that only have one, I believe, but for the majority of it, there's at least 2 million fans on the border. Now, within that, it's 1 million everywhere, obviously, except for this place, which here soon I'm going to be taking that over, and then I can move these two out to reinforce different areas. Now, a big key with Conquest very early on, I wish I had some recording of this. Very early on, you want to build a ginormous fan base. Within one tile, one area, you want to have the biggest fan base within that area so you can just go out, spread, and just dominate. Now, I do not recommend playing the games. Yes, they are only 3 innings, and you can play them on rookie if you have enough fans. That varies depending on how many fans your opponents have versus how many you have. I would just recommend simulating those games, especially if they have a high chance of winning. Now, if they have a low chance of winning, you're going to be playing on I can't remember, like either Hall of Fame or Legend difficulty, somewhere up there. Now, all that's going to affect is your PCI is just going to be either smaller or larger depending on the difficulty that you have set. Now, that's when I go back to having the 72 million over here. We got San Francisco Giants over here, 72 million. I believe this place has like 14 million. Right now, you see we're in the move fans phase. So what I could actually do right here is I can move my 18 million to any connecting track. So what I mean by that 18 million, you notice I have 2 million. And it's pretty much just a straight line all the way through, and I can move them all the way up and fill it to 99. Now, 99 million fans is the maximum. You cannot go any higher than that. Once you have hit 99 million, it is maxed out, and you might as well just move your fan base to somewhere else. Now, with the move portion of Conquest, you only get one move. You can't have multiple moves over the course of just this one phase. So choose wisely where you move your players. If you know you are outmatched and you want to knock it down a difficulty to get it from veteran to rookie, then move those fans to the place where you plan on taking over. Now, right here, we notice this is going to be like Hall of Fame. I don't know what difficulty this might be on if I was to combine these two, to be honest. But the lower, the easier you can go, the easier it's going to be. So, for example, this 18 million, I'm going to go ahead and let's just see where we need to reinforce. I'm going to reinforce this 99, get it all the way up to 99. And you notice, trying to go over, it's not letting me go over anymore. 99 million is max, and then after you move phase, it goes on to attack. So it goes attack phase, steal fans phase, which skip. It's a waste of your time if you're trying to get this done quickly. Skip it anyways. It literally is stupid. And then you move to reinforce phase, and then the move phase, and it rinses and repeats the entire time. That's what you're going to be doing. So you notice now we are on the attack phase. So here's what we're going to do. My plan of attack, this could be pretty darn tricky right here because we are surrounded by 2 higher fan bases. We've got 12 million, we've got an 11 million. If we were to attack, well, more than likely what's going to happen is that 12 million then is going to move over to the 1 million and take it over. That's going to cause a big issue. The big issue, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about right here. We're going to go ahead and simulate this game. It's going to take a little bit to simulate, but the big problem is once we attack and take that over, we only have 1 million fan base. Now, the computer, more than likely, what he's going to do is then move that 12 or 11 million down, attack with 11 million, and take over the 1 million. You notice right here it's about to happen. Bam. So we know We're gonna go ahead and you can skip also. I just spammed the square button. You notice this has 12 million. Now we're surrounded. This 89 million, it can no longer get reinforcements. That is a huge issue. We need to keep a channel open. So right here, we're gonna go ahead and simulate this game. You notice it's a very easy win. I'm not gonna waste my time. It's so much faster. That's gonna take it over. Most times that CPU with number 12, their home, I don't know what it's called right now. I can't think of it, but whatever it is, we're gonna call it the home base. They aren't gonna go any lower than about 14 million. Generally, when they hit 14 million, the CPU is then gonna stop spreading its resources because it spreads so thin, then it's gonna leave itself even more vulnerable. Now, we could easily go ahead, attack the home base or HQ or home, whatever you want to call it, and we could easily go ahead and play a game on rookie, but I'm not going to do that in this video. The name of the game is moving back and forth with your large army, whatever you guys want to call it, your large fan base, etc., and then just slowly taking out their fan base. As you do that, it becomes easier to take it over. Eventually, these large ones are going to be gone because I'm going to eventually just knock them down to the ground very quickly. And you're going to be left with 4, 5, 3s, or 2s like this. This is what is eventually going to happen. Now, you notice I cut them off right here. That is something that's very important to do because they are no longer able to reinforce each other. These reinforcements are now stuck, and since I have 4 million, 10 million, this 5 million, the CPU ain't going to attack. It works based off numbers and based off that kind of logic built into it. So as long as you can play the numbers game and outnumber or out fan base or outweigh your opponent, you'll be perfectly fine. Now, a weakness that I just recognized is this border right here, 1 million, 1 million. Now, it's safe to say, very safe to say, the CPU isn't gonna attack you right here simply because, well, especially with that 2 million, it's not gonna attack you. So if you're worried that they may, you can always just go back. You can just skip this. We're gonna go ahead and skip the steel fans phase. So now this border is starting to come apart. Eventually I'm gonna want to take this over. I'm gonna skip steel fans phase, skip right into the reinforced phase, because well, steel fans, again, it's a waste of time. If you guys are trying to get this done the fastest way possible, skip the steel fans phase, move fans phase, and go and reinforce right over here. I always want there to be a big fan base in some location. I always want there to be a 99. Once you get to that point, make sure you always have a 99 somewhere. Now, this right here can be very dangerous. You notice we have 10 million fans. I'm pretty darn safe though, to be honest, with 3, 2. They can only send 1. They can only send 2. So that is going to be safe. They're not going to try and attack it. If they do, they're going to lose. Very easy. I mean, I can't tell you guys again and again. It's just a numbers game over and over. Now, this place right here has 65, I think. 65 million. Yeah. So we could just go through and just mob this entire West Coast if we were to build it back up to a 99, which, you know what, we've got the fan base to do so. So we're going to bump this up to 99. When we get to the attack phase, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go through and wipe out the rest of this. Now, I like to leave the home base for last because you have to play the game. There's no way to get around it. You simply have to play it. Now, it is only 3 innings. If you can at least, I think it's 70 million fans. We're going to go and check the number. You're going to need more than 70 million fans against 23. You're probably going to need about 80 million, maybe 90 million fans to get it down to rookie. So this 99, if we were to just come mobbing through here and just completely wipe out this population from the face of the map, we probably need to skip a couple phases to be able to get that reinforcement back up. Now, we're gonna, with the remaining reinforcements, with the 22 left, we need to go and reinforce our weak spot. So you notice anywhere that has 1 that is being surrounded by your opponent needs to be covered. So especially over here where they have 23 million fans, that is a big issue. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna bump it up to 5 million to where at least if the CPU does try and attack it, they're going to lose it. Anytime the computer attacks you, it's a simulated game, so you don't have to worry about every single time the computer attacks you. Notice that you have to play it. Thank goodness, otherwise this game would take forever. So we're gonna do something very simple like this. With how I focus it is, I like to reinforce a little. I at least like to go 3 million, 4 million, 5 million. You notice right here I've got 7 million against it. That's sitting right against home base because the computer always reserves their troops or their fans right there. You notice the bare minimum, if I can find, I think right now the lowest one is 12. Yeah, the lowest one is 12 million, which is the Boston. I believe that's the Red Sox. Is 12 million. So that'd be easy clap. That'd be like GG right there. On the other hand, we've got 23 million that we still have to deal with. 21 million now. 23 million for the San Diego Padres. Don't remember who this is, unfortunately. but it's all a name game. Now we got the move phase. So right here, I was talking about, you can only do one move phase. So this is HQ right now. So HQ is anywhere with a blank space where it doesn't show numbers. To toggle back and forth, you just hit the square. So we're gonna go ahead, move this guy, so we can actually go all the way down again because we have connected the dots. So we're gonna go all the way down anywhere that we think it's a weak spot. And as long as you're connected, you're safe. It looks like we're actually pretty darn good. We're gonna actually move all 14 fans over here, confirm, and that's pretty much gonna wrap up this tutorial, this little tutorial video on how I've been working this conquest. Now, of course, if you guys go into smaller ones such as second inning, whatever this one is, with Jackie Robinson day conquest map, Keith Hernandez, then first inning, I really recommend you guys start on, unless you want to just go ham of Nation of almost said basketball, Nation of Baseball. If you guys want to like really spend a lot of time, then that's going to be one that you can do. The nice thing about this, I don't know if it's really worth it, but if you go all the way down to repeatable baseball, conquest every territory on the map. Now this is repeatable, so you get not only the 1,000 subs, which isn't worth it in my opinion, 5,000 experience points kind of is, but the big thing is you get 10 packs. You get a bundle of 10. The very first one that I probably should have said first inning. The very first one you ought to complete, that's the easiest, is Conquest for Rookies. This, if you've ever played a game of Risk in your entire life, which most people have, this should probably take you about 20 minutes. I'd say about an hour and a half. Depending on if you do decide to simulate. This really shouldn't take you too long. I'd say an hour and a half at the most. If you really just sit down, grind, this shouldn't take you too long. This one, I'm working on about a month. But you guys could cut it down to a couple of weeks, or maybe even a few days. If you sat and just played the game all day long and just grinded the crap out of it, you could probably finish that in a week if you did 8-hour plus gaming sessions for an entire 7 days straight. Otherwise, it's going to take you a couple weeks, maybe even a month to complete, simply because it is such a large map. Now, again, with this map, I'm going to go back into it. Once you guys finally get the ball rolling and you have a massive fan base everywhere with multiple large armies conquesting and taking over the world, it's going to be fairly easy. The start of it is what takes the longest, simply because you have a small fan base, and so you got to work your way up. You notice we're on turn 54. This is not a short thing. I'm still determining whether or not it's actually worth it. I'll give you guys an idea. Here's a good way to think about it. I think like those standard packs, where they're like 7,500 stubs. We're gonna go over to shop real fast. Packs. The way to think about this is this worth $15 of your time? If you think it's worth 15 bucks, then go ahead and do it. Of course, it's a free $15 if you complete it. Well, I guess a free $1,600, or $1,600, I wish. A free $16, including the extra 1,000 stubs, as well as hidden rewards. Now, of course, I can't show you where those hidden rewards are because, well, they're hidden. They're like, I can't. It's that simple. We're not going to go into this. We're going to go into Conquest. If you guys, this is for any Conquest map that you come across. I don't know the locations. I couldn't tell you because, well, it's such a large map, I've forgotten. But in certain spots, in certain locations on the map, you'll come across hidden rewards, which sometimes may be a couple hundred stubs, a few hundred experience points, or even 1,000 stubs with a couple hundred experience points. All the while, so if you guys were to keep track of how much you could make, you guys could let me know down below in the comment section how much you have made on the Nation one versus the other ones. But if you're to keep track of that, it does add up over time. Now again, if you guys want a long term and you want to get just a crap ton of bundles, maybe a glitch or two, I don't know, you could always hit this Nation of Baseball challenge and just grind the crap out of it. I think if you were to really sit down and work within maybe a couple months, you could have 100 packs, maybe. I don't really know. I don't want to sit down and grind that much. That's just too much grinding for me. But that's the only one that is repeatable. All these other ones are not. It's a one-time deal. But you do unlock some sweet players as well as some sweet rewards. alongside of it. So with that in mind, that's going to wrap up this video. If you guys have any comments, questions, leave me down below in the comment section. Maybe you guys got some other tips as well as how you can complete Conquest faster. So you can leave that all down below in the comment section. Subscribe if you're new, and until next time, this has been T Meister. See ya.